and welcome back to The Deep Dive. I'm your host. Today, we're setting our sights on a country that, well, it just really captivates the imagination, doesn't it? Vietnam. I mean, just hearing the name, you probably picture ancient temples, maybe shrouded in mist, or you can almost smell the pho from a street stall, and of course the incredible green of Halong Bay. It's just brimming with culture, amazing food, stunning beauty. But, beyond that initial allure, if you're planning to really dive in, maybe for a trip, maybe for a long stay, there's a really crucial aspect we need to talk about, often overlooked: safety. So our mission today is basically to cut through all the noise. We want to get you the absolute essential nuggets of knowledge about safety, specifically for expats and travelers in Vietnam. We're really zeroing in on three main things: understanding your insurance, figuring out the healthcare situation, and being ready for emergencies. We've pulled insights from a really thorough guide, distilling lessons learned from real experiences, boots on the ground. Think of this as your shortcut to feeling properly informed, getting those aha
moments that build real confidence.
Absolutely. And this matters directly to you, the listener. Maybe you're just dreaming about cycling through rice paddies in Hue An, or perhaps you're actually planning a move to Hanoi. Or maybe you're already living in Ho Chi Minh City right now. We get it. You want to get up to speed quickly, but properly, right? You want those key insights without drowning in information. Understanding these practical bits isn't just admin. It's a shortcut to real peace of mind. It's about knowing what you need to know, ideally, before you desperately need it.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's get right into the heart of it. Your financial safety net. For most people, that means insurance. Now let's call it a hard truth. You need to know about Vietnam's medical system. It often surprises newcomers. Basically, it generally works on an upfront payment model for services. It's not necessarily facilities being difficult. It's more about how healthcare funding works there.
Right. Unlike maybe back home where you might have universal coverage or insurance that direct bills. Vietnam's public system is primarily for its citizens. For foreigners, it often feels more like fee-for-service.
Exactly. You walk in, get treated, you pay the bill. So if something goes wrong, it could be minor, it could be serious, you're potentially on the hook for the full cost. Unless, of course, you have solid coverage. We actually heard a really compelling story, someone who lived this. It really brings it home. They said, I had a minor scooter accident in Hanoi, nothing too serious, but I needed x-rays and stitches. I was lucky to have travel insurance. My bill was over 15 million VND. My insurance covered 95%. If I didn't have it, I would have been stuck.
Wow. Yeah. Just imagine that. You're a bit shaken up from a crash.
Right. And then, boom, a bill for over 15 million dong.
That's what, about $600 US, roughly?
Yeah, roughly. A significant chunk of change to suddenly find, unexpectedly.
It really highlights the huge relief good insurance provides as protection. And what's really critical here, I think, is understanding that not all insurance is the same. What you need really changes depending on how long you'll be there. For those shorter trips, typically under 90 days, standard travel insurance, usually fine.
Right, that covers medical emergencies, maybe trip cancellation, lost bags, that sort of thing.
Exactly. But if you're thinking long-term, like really becoming an expat in Vietnam, you absolutely have to look at international health insurance. Think companies like Cigna. They have huge global networks or alliances. There's even Pacific Cross, which actually has a Vietnam-based branch.
Okay, so that's a key distinction.
It's huge. International health insurance gives you that comprehensive, long-term care, sometimes even preventative stuff. It's designed for residents. Choosing the wrong type, that could leave you really exposed financially.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. And it's a detail, a crucial detail many people miss, especially because motorbikes are just everywhere in Vietnam. You absolutely have to check if your insurance policy covers motorbike accidents.
Oh, yes. This is a big one.
Because many policies, surprisingly, don't. Particularly if you don't have a valid local Vietnamese driving license for the bike you're riding.
It's such a common pitfall. People often have an international driving permit, an IDP.
Yeah, and they think they're covered.
Right. But for motorbikes over 50cc, the validity of an IDP alone under Vietnamese law can be, murky. Your insurance might deny a claim, arguing you were operating illegally if you didn't have the proper Vietnamese license alongside it.
And with bikes being so common, and unfortunately a common cause of accidents.
Mm-hmm. Double-checking that clause, understanding the local license rules, it's absolutely non-negotiable. For your safety, for your finances.
Such a small detail, but yet potentially huge consequences.
So once you've thought about the financial safety net, the insurance, the next logical step is, okay, where do I actually go for help? Let's talk about navigating Vietnam's healthcare landscape itself.
Okay.
Vietnam has a mixed system. You've got state-funded public hospitals and you've got private facilities. Now, public hospitals are everywhere, often cheaper for locals, but for most expats, private facilities are generally the recommended route.
Right. So that raises a question for you, the listener. Where do you actually seek care? And the answer seems to lean private. Why is that?
Several key reasons, really. You usually get much faster service in private clinics. Plus, crucially, the consistent availability of English-speaking staff. That's a big one. And medical standards often align more closely with international practices. Think newer tech, maybe different medicines available.
Whereas public hospitals, while improving,
Would be incredibly crowded. You might lack privacy, and the language barrier can be really significant if you don't speak Vietnamese.
Okay, so to give people a practical starting point, our deep dive flags some specific places expats often recommend. Let's break it down by city. So, if you're in Hanoi, you'll want to know about Family Medical Practice Hanoi. Highly regarded, Western standards, English-speaking docs, good for general stuff.
Yeah, familiar name.
Then there's Vinmec International Hospital. That's part of the huge Vin group.
Yeah.
Very modern, comprehensive services. And for 247 emergencies, International SOS is apparently an expat favorite. Known for quick response, international standards. Okay, heading south to Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon. Top names there include FV Hospital, that's French-Vietnamese, considered really top tier, lots of specialties.
Heard good things about FV.
Also, Vinmec Central Park again, modern, state-of-the-art, and Columbia Asia International offers reliable, internationally aligned care too.
Good options there.
And for anyone exploring the Central Coast, maybe Anung or Hoi An, Hoan Mu Hospital is a key one. They have English-speaking staff. And there's also a family medical practice branch in Anung.
Similar services to the Hanoi one, presumably.
Exactly. It's probably smart to just, check which of these are near where you'll be staying or working. Maybe even pin them on your map app beforehand.
Oh, absolutely. And if we, connect this to the bigger picture, taking these small proactive steps, it makes a huge difference in an emergency. It really can turn a super stressful situation into something manageable.
Like what specifically?
Well, keeping the exact addresses and the emergency hotline numbers for these places saved right on your phone. Like in a dedicated medical contacts group, you don't want to be scrambling for that info when time is critical.
Good point.
And another crucial tip, always ask beforehand about direct billing options with your specific insurance company.
Ah, okay. So the hospital bills the insurer directly.
Ideally, yes. Many private hospitals in Vietnam have agreements with major international insurers, confirming that upfront means in an emergency, the hospital can sort the payment with your insurer, saves you needing large amounts of cash, dealing with claims later.
While you're already stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Simplifies everything. Okay, now let's talk about the worst case scenario, an actual emergency. Just picture this. You're out exploring Hainan, maybe cycling through those beautiful rice fields. It's hot, and suddenly someone in your group gets severe heat stroke. They collapse.
Yeah, scary thought.
Or you're doing that amazing Hajang motorbike loop, stunning views, but someone crashes, an injury. What do? Like right then, in that immediate, probably chaotic moment.
It is vital, absolutely vital to have a simple, clear plan ready in your head. Step one, and honestly, often the hardest when you're stressed, stay calm and get to safety.
Right. First things first. Assess, don't panic.
Exactly. It helps you think clearly, see what's going on, and stops anyone else getting hurt. Step two, call for help. Now, the general emergency number is 115 for ambulances, but there's a big caveat here.
Okay. What's the issue?
Response times can really vary a lot, and the ambulance services might not always be up to international standards or have English speakers. So based on a lot of expat experience, many actually prefer to bypass 115 for things that are urgent, but maybe not immediately life-threatening.
So what do they do instead?
They either call a private clinic's direct emergency line, if one exists, or, much more commonly, they grab a grab car or a taxi straight to the nearest recommended private hospital. It often ends up being faster and more reliable for getting quality care. Step three is right away use your insurance hotline. Most good international policies have a 247 helpline.
Ah, so call them before maybe going to the hospital if possible.
If you're not in immediate critical danger, yes. Calling them first can be incredibly helpful. They can give medical advice, tell you the best approved hospital nearby for your plan, and crucially, they can often arrange payment guarantees or direct billing.
Okay.
That takes the financial stress off you right then.
Okay, good to know.
And finally, step four, inform someone. always have a friend or contact who knows where you are, your general plans.
Especially if you're traveling solo.
Absolutely. Use tech. Apps like Find My iPhone or Google location sharing are smart moves for solo travelers. It kind of raises that point about personal accountability, right?
Yeah.
And using tech for safety. Ensure someone knows what's up, even if you can't communicate.
Yeah, like a pre-agreed check-in system. Could literally save your life. Okay, so pulling all this together, what does it mean for your everyday life or your upcoming trip in Vietnam? Beyond that emergency plan, let's wrap up with 5 practical safety habits. Things our deep dive suggests can save you huge headaches, give you real peace of mind. And these aren't just generic tips. They have specific relevance in Vietnam. First, carry both digital and paper copies of your key documents. We're talking insurance card, passport, visa. You might think, why both? Isn't a photo on my phone enough these days?
It's a fair question, and the why is kind of layered, especially in Vietnam. Your phone could die, right? Or you could lose it. Or you
Right.
might be somewhere. A digital copy just isn't accepted officially.
Dealing with police, maybe? Or visa offices?
Exactly. Police, after an accident, certain government offices for extensions, they often need to see the physical passport or visa. Plus, you can't always count on Wi-Fi or data, especially outside big cities. Makes digital access tricky sometimes.
So redundancy is key.
Totally. Digital backup, maybe cloud storage, encrypted drive, and a physical copy, kept separate from your main wallet maybe, ensures you've always got access. It's about fail-safes.
Okay, second habit. Save emergency contacts in your phone with really clear, universal labels. Not just mom or Dave. Think IC Hospital or ICE Family. This is about more than just having a friend's number, right?
Exactly. Your friends are vital, but those standard IC labels, in case of emergency, help first responders, hospital staff, anyone trying to help quickly see who to call and why. And beyond just family, think about adding your embassy's emergency line, maybe a local Vietnamese friend who could translate in a pinch.
Good idea.
Even using your phone's medical ID feature, if it has one, to list allergies or crucial medical conditions. It just streamlines everything when time matters, lets others help you effectively.
Third, and we really can't stress this enough, thinking about Vietnamese roads if you ride a motorbike. Always wear a helmet. The traffic is, well, famously chaotic, bustling, unpredictable. It's part of the experience, but yeah, it carries risks.
It's simple advice, non-negotiable really, but with a specific Vietnamese angle. While helmets are mandatory, many you see sold locally are, frankly, flimsy. They offer minimal real protection, more like ticking a legal box.
Ah, right. Not all helmets are created equal.
Definitely not. If you plan to ride a lot, seriously consider investing in a high-quality, internationally certified helmet DOT or ECE standard. Bring one, or buy from a reputable dealer there. Head injuries are serious risks in bike accidents. A proper helmet is your main defense. Plus, wearing a certified helmet also shows you're being careful, which could potentially help if, heaven forbid, an insurance claim comes up related to that motorbike clause we talked about.
Okay, number 4. Try to learn just a few basic Vietnamese medical terms. Even a tiny bit of language can go a surprisingly long way, especially when you're feeling unwell or stressed. We're talking simple things like đau bông for stomach pain,
Up for fever.
boxe for doctor, things like that.
Learning even just those few phrases can massively improve your ability to communicate symptoms, especially if you end up in a local clinic where English might be limited. It shows respect, it eases anxiety, yours and the staff's, and it just helps them understand faster for diagnosis, for treatment.
Makes sense.
Even just having them written on a card or using an offline translation app can be a huge help to describe what's wrong beyond just pointing or saying pain. It empowers you when communication is tough.
And finally, number 5. Consider downloading online consultation apps. Names like Phay Bien or Doctor. Anywhere Vietnam came up. These are modern tools basically giving you access to medical advice, sometimes even prescriptions right from your phone.
Yeah, these offer amazing accessibility and convenience, especially for things that aren't emergencies or for an initial chat when you're just not sure if you need to go see someone physically. Maybe you've got a minor rash, a cough that won't quit, need a prescription refill. These apps let you connect with a doctor virtually, get a first assessment, and often avoid the hassle and cost of an in-person visit. They can also be great for a quick second opinion or just to figure out if your issue does warrant a trip to one of those private hospitals we mentioned.
So it's a proactive way to get guidance without the immediate stress of navigating the system in person for every little thing.
Exactly. Look, living in Vietnam, traveling there, it's an incredible experience. Genuinely thrilling. The culture is rich. The food is fantastic. The scenery is breathtaking. But true enjoyment, and maybe more importantly, real peace of mind. That comes from being prepared. The people are incredibly warm and resilient. The healthcare system is getting better all the time. But the system really works best for you when you've done your homework, when you understand it.
It's about being informed, empowered, not fearful. And that really brings us back to the core message, the ultimate takeaway from this deep dive today. It's that powerful proverb. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Let that be your guide, really, as you plan or enjoy your adventures in Vietnam. It lets you focus on the amazing stuff without that nagging worry about the what-ifs.
So given everything we've covered today, the insurance details, the hospital names, the emergency plan, those daily habits, here's something to maybe chew on. How might a deeper understanding of local customs around seeking help, maybe going beyond just the official medical system, how might that further boost your safety and peace of mind in Vietnam? Think about things like community support, perhaps traditional healing practices, or even those informal networks expats often build. Could they play a vital, sometimes overlooked role in your well-being while you're in this really unique country?